Wakanyeja. In the Lakota language, this word means child, but lost in the translation to English is the true meaning. The Wakanyeja are the sacred ones. Sacred because they are a gift from the Creator. Sacred because they hold the future of our people. In the time before European contact, our elders took their learning from the earth and sky and from the ancestors. As above, so below. They spoke to us in night voices, teaching us how to grow our children strong and brave. Today, we have asked once again of earth and sky, of our ancestors, please help us. Our children suffer, and they have spoken. Wakanyeja Pawicayapi, The Children First, is a program in Porcupine, South Dakota, initiated and operated by Oglala Lakota healers, educators, professionals, and parents to help children with serious emotional needs. Guided by traditional healers, an individualized plan of care is established for each Wakanyeja, which includes the child's tiwahe, or family, and tioshpae, or extended family. Through a child-centered wraparound process, a ripple of healing begins to circle out to our people. Meet Josie. She is a child that belongs to all of us.
Okay.
Josie lives on the Pine Ridge Reservation in South Dakota. She has struggled through a childhood of pain. Bearing the wounds and the sorrows of her ancestors. Her father, unable to find employment. Her mother, destroyed by alcohol. This Wakanyeja, Josie, sometimes known as Joe, has attempted suicide, used drugs and alcohol, been sexually abused, emotionally neglected, and been in and out of juvenile detention. But today, Josie has a chance.
Sometimes I feel lost. I don't know. Why this happened to me. My dad, how come he's not here?
You have 6 fathers here. We'll be your fathers.
Wakanyeja Pawicayapi is part of the circle of care that brings Josie and her family back into balance.
And that's calling the spirit back into us, because when we play out, we forget. Our spirits can wander too. And that's when the child suffers. And we have a lot of those today. Wakanyejas are suffering because their spirits are wandering, trying to find themselves. It wouldn't hurt you to say, I love you, I have you, I want you to be good and stay with me, or you come back. These are the things we need to put in practice if we're going to live in the foreign world and do these things. We need to practice that Lakota in us. We are gifted. Each and every one of you that are sitting here are gifted with something that you can do to support people next to you around here.
And through the spirits, The beginning is the comfort, and then establishing like a relationship with them, and then the Spirit asked me, tell me to give them water, and He said the water is the first medicine that I'll offer them in their healing. So I pray with the water and offer it to them, and then they take it, and I tell them why I'm offering it to them. It's hard to give them a reason to live, you know. So the water's the beginning.
Here, the traditional healing ceremonies of Lakota culture intertwine with conventional counseling and aftercare to create a strong net of safety and recovery for Josie and her family.
Nahiki Chopi, calling the spirit back, is important because the children and the families have suffered for generations. Our greatest concern is that if our children, our future, have no sense of hope and they are at the point of killing themselves, of being suicidal, or of killing themselves slowly through alcoholism, through drug abuse, through self-mutilation, through a life of wandering, then what is the future of the Lakota people?
The challenge is great to create a sustainable, culturally based program that builds a bridge to the future for our people. Initially funded through federal grants, Wakanyeja Pawicayapi has earned praise as an important program on the reservation, which provides training and technical support to other organizations, as well as a model for other Native cultures to follow.
This mother writes, I began having difficulties with my daughter in December 1999. My insurance company sent us to a private hospital. My daughter was evaluated and diagnosed as severely depressed and oppositional. My insurance company contacted me due to problems with the hospital overdosing my daughter without authorization to give the drugs. It was then determined that she was in need of long-term residential care. While trying to get that type of placement, my daughter attempted suicide while in the hospital. She was then moved to the state hospital in March 2000. Within 30 days, my daughter was beaten by the staff at this hospital. While in the care of the state, my daughter has attempted suicide once again. She has been given up to 19 different psychotropic drugs at one time, thus creating a state of chemical restraint. I am imploring you to give me some type of help in the form of intervention before they take this child away from her family forever. Please respond with any knowledge or help that you can give me on this situation. And she thanks us very respectfully. And like I said, it's these kinds of situations that we're dealing with that create this tremendous need for us to continue with this work. We need to protect these little ones and to help them grow in the healthiest way they can.
There is no time to waste. Our children, these sacred Wakanyeja, are our most precious resource. They thirst for that precious water of life. Wakanyeja Pawicayapi humbly offers the cup. Mitakuyasi. We are all related.
Tunga shelai, tunga shelai, tunga shelai, ayo ye wayelo, ay tunga shelai, tunga shelai, ayo O Shemalayoy, O Shemalayoy, O Shemalayoy, Ayahoy, Wayeloy, Ay, Toka Shelo, Toka Shelo, Ayahoy, Wayeloy, Ay.